Old and new. I am Brent. These are my fabulous co-hosts, John
Manoir.
and Steve.
Hello.
Be Steve and John, given the way this is all structured, but you know. And we're gonna start our dig tonight by I don't have interesting. Hold on 1 second. I need to change something. I realized I did not have the right thing up. We're going to start our dig tonight by analyzing the anime movie we all watched this week. As always, spoilers lie ahead. We're going to talk about Space Runaway Ideon.
Oh, baby.
Otherwise known as Screaming Burning Death Part 2.
Exactly. Let me go ahead and
It's Space Babies.
Naked Space
show you all a little bit here. See if this works. There we go. Which starts with a ruined hellscape. How appropriate for an Ideon movie.
Yeah.
So, first off, if this is your first time with this, I'm so sorry. This is the second Ideon movie. Backstory is, original series came out. It had a problematic ending. If you can call it an ending. Things just kind of stopped with the TV show. And so they came back and they made two movies. The first sort of retells most of the original story. Well, really the first 10 episodes or so. And then the second movie is just no, we're just going to redo the ending. We're going to literally jump forward 40 episodes and just jump straight to the ending. Actually, rewatching this, I was surprised. I didn't realize we get maybe half an hour to this movie and we get to the end of the TV series. Like most of this is a completely original ending, kind of, sort of. So they basically tried to condense this one really important episode of the anime where he meets Kitten into 30 seconds.
I was so confused when I watched it. I was like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an important conversation that
Yes!
they're having,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's no context at first. You
No.
figure it out after a while, but it's just sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are we and where are we?
Yeah,
it's
and why does everyone look beat up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So in the original TV series, they've gone on a whole bunch of adventures. They finally found another colonized planet where they can kind of rest for a second. Of course, Buffy shows up. And meanwhile, Amuro with an afro here, our friend Cosmo, has found a little friend. And he actually starts this little relationship with Kitten.
Which is bound to go well.
Right? Exactly, yes.
Because it always goes well.
Because Ideon always goes well.
Everybody's happy and normally adjusted. It's great.
Yeah, totally. And so we get this legitimately nice little moment between the two of them where they have a little moment. And then we literally smash cut to them running away from from an attack and getting vaporized.
Yeah.
And we get the iconic moment where Cosmo watches the head of his girlfriend fly past his visor. Literally, just woo. And then does the why must we fight title screen. So yeah,
I didn't have a lot of love in this first few minutes of this, or I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Uh-huh.
Tomino.
Yeah, what were your guys' reaction to this sequence?
Hellish? Not happy? Deeply disturbed at who this was and why she died. They obviously were connected. I have no idea what's going on.
They're having the conversation and they're having an argument. I'm like, okay, this is kind of important. I'm not sure why they're here. Blah, 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 blah. Explosion. Oh, my. Oh, dear. Oh, wait. And, of course, it was just the one image. You go back in reverse and you go, did I really see that? Put in slow motion. There goes the head.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not a very satisfactory kind of.
No.
Because I'm sure the build-up to Cosmo and Kitten's relationship is probably, gives you some sense of tragedy in this, as opposed to confusion and sort of not irrelevant questions, but questions that are not as heartwarming when you're like, wow, her head survived the explosion pretty okay. That's not typically how you're supposed to react in this moment. It's supposed to be much more heartrending of, oh no, he was building a connection to her and she's dead. No, ooh, her head's not burned.
And in fairness, this movie was made for the, 30,000 Ideon fans in Japan in 1982, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Who were like, give me a better ending. So they all came in thinking, oh, good, we get to see them, Kitten. That's great. We get a moment with Kitten. So
a moment, literal moment.
A literal moment.
But like they all knew this was coming. They all, you're ready for this. So it's like, it just does not play for that audience.
Yeah, the inside joke wasn't with all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to lose your head over, though.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So then we get this, I will admit, kind of nifty credit sequence with little panels, kind of with the various moments so far in the story and kind of catching you up on what's going on. I kind of like that. We get the Ideon blowing up lots of stuff, which I'd like to do. And we get to watch it kind of planet in half.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of, setting the stakes pretty well.
Well, again, also telegraphing the fact that it's like the 30,000 people who are specifically this film is made for. They're sitting there going, oh yeah, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us are going, planet? What was it? What planet was that?
And do we care about the sentient life on that planet?
No,
was there
we
sentient
don't care. It's just all good.
No, once we figure out that they're all going to be naked space babies, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just, you can skip forward.
So, speaking of skipping forward, we then get basically, in fairness, a lot of sort of connective tissue of kind of setting up what's going on here, and we basically jump to the end of the TV series. Where Kerala and I forget his name. Is that Bess?
I think so.
Okay.
The guy, the father of the child, space baby. Yes.
No. This is not the father of the space baby.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
her
one of
dad.
the other guys.
No.
The blonde guy she's with.
Oh, the dude she got captured with.
Yeah,
and she escaped with her.
Yeah. There are 1,000 characters in the show.
Yes,
and they all die.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. So they get on the ship and we get an actual confrontation between her and her father, which does not go well. Surprise, surprise.
And remind everyone how the TV series ends.
Yeah. I can show that actually. I have that queued up here.
Just a black screen.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
But point being, what this is establishing is that the Buff Clan is stuck in its ways. There's no compassion there. There's no flexibility there. This is not going. Basically, for the entire show, they've basically been saying, if we could only just sit down and talk with the Buff Clan, we could stop all this, and it shows no. That's not going to work either. Okay, I sort of understand what it's there for. We have the rather hilarious laser thing with her, where she pulls out, basically a laser level.
It looks like an 8-track.
With it. Yeah, it's an 8-track.
I was going to say a very advanced iPhone. No.
Yeah, and threatens her father with it. It's like I'll burn a hole in you. And they went off and she's like, it's a good thing you didn't know that was a laser level. I did appreciate that. But yes, again, effectively, this ends, unlike the TV series, with them all getting away from the main Buff Clan thing and flying off. And from there... Kasha does not have a great day.
She's slipping. She starts losing it. She starts her tenuous grasp on reality just keeps slipping.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about this sequence and what she does, she gets really focused on Lou, because of course Lou is has been made clear is kind of the key to all this.
Yes.
And she's like, okay, so let's address it. Let's like take Lou out and actually like offer it to the Ideon to see if that will actually like effing stop something. So like you understand the logic of what she's trying to do, but the doing of it is remarkably stupid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because like, she's right. She's like, look, this is what activates you. Here you go. Stop all of this in the name of the innocent child. And again, it doesn't end well for anybody.
Literally.
Exactly. And what's funny is, again, it works in a sense, right? Like the Ide power, the Ide gauge gets max power. They blow everything up. They also blow up Kasha.
Yep.
And,
I'm not going to say that I was terribly sad by that.
No.
Because like when you're out there, screaming in your spacesuit in space to take the baby, it's kind of like, you man, okay, you're not going to do anything good from here on out. It's all, if you survive this, it's all going to be like complete lunacy for you for the rest of this.
Yeah. You guys can John and Chad. They blew it up real good.
Yeah.
So yeah, all over for them, but surprise, her spirit appears and flies off into space, which might be the first time we've seen this in Ideon. I'm not sure.
I think so. Nobody else getting killed drastically is shown to be flying off in spirit form.
Yeah. That was kind of interesting. And then we get some Buff Clan internal politics with this Confederacy group that they're like getting their funding or their, I don't know. Was it the Ome group or something that he's like working with? It was just
like the science Ome group, and they're, I don't know. It's a consolidation of power of some sort.
Yeah, and it's clearly, Japanese government working with the military-industrial complex, kind of a, reference there. But it just kind of felt like didn't need that from the movie. Seemed like an unimportant detail. Then, as if this weren't enough, the Ide Force decides to wipe out Earth.
Yeah.
Thank you, movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we are wrapping things, tying the little bows, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So wipe out Earth. That's part of the agenda. Okay, cool. Here we go. Moving on.
Exactly. They also wipe out Buff Clan Earth.
Yeah.
And the Emperor. Okay, I guess.
And I find it interesting that the Buff Clan forces don't know about this just yet.
Right.
Their home world. And yeah. At this point, I gotta tell you, if I found out if I was on the Ideon ship or the Ford Life or whatever the hell the thing's called, and I find out, Earth has been wiped out, that's when I kind of go, you know what? Anyway, we just go hyperspace that way and just say the hell with it and just go and just leave.
Well, that is indeed the problem. Is that every time they try to do that, the Buff Clan just comes after them.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's nowhere to run to that the Buff Clan won't follow them and then keep causing trouble.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not the solution to be like, well, just take the Ideon. We're done with you, and with this whole thing, we're gonna fly off this way. The Buff Clan ain't gonna let that happen either.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a bad situation all around. One thing I do like about this is those occasional thoughts of kind of what's going on. There's the moment when they're activating their ultimate weapon and they fire it, and they're like, and so it'll actually explode in 30 minutes, right? Right. Because it's going across vast amounts of space to actually hit the planet. And so it's not, you fire a thing and then it just blows up. It's like there's, space-time exists. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, people don't really know that Earth's gone for a little while. And so we get some more back and forth fighting, blah, 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 blah. This is the point at which Kerala realizes that the life inside her is reacting to Lou. somehow.
Right.
There's-
choice of name for your kid too.
Oh, Messiah.
Messiah. Yeah.
And she literally names her kid Messiah.
It's pronounced Jesus. No,
Yeah.
what? Oh,
Well,
and how baby in utero is friends with baby Lou. I just that's just here we go.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, in fairness, it's one of those things where I'm sure in Japan, it doesn't come across as goofy as it does in over here in Your Kid Messiah. But whatever. It's better than naming your kid Eve in Time of Eve. So yeah, people you attack each other and keep attacking each other and die.
Shots to the face.
Shots to the face.
Dying. People just keep dying.
People just keep dying. And then this is the point where and I actually kind of like this sequence where everyone gets kind of reunited briefly, and we get a little moment between Cosmo and I'm getting her name again. Not Sarah. His girlfriend girl.
Come with me, Sarah, if you want to live. I can't remember her name
either. This is horrible. I just rewatched this today.
Oh wow.
And I can't remember any of these names.
It's Russian, right? It was a Russian name.
Kasha?
No. Kasha. No, I think that was it actually.
Yes, Kasha. Thank
you.
Yeah.
I remember the
thing. So yeah, they actually get a little moment where they, there's a little potential between the two of them, which is rather nice. Most mecha series do not actually do that. So thank you.
Most mecha series us don't kill everybody.
True. It's also they can die later, right? That's the whole point. Pretty much. And then I do have to admit, I do think this was good symbolism when they try to kiss and the technology literally gets in the way.
Yeah.
It's like, I see what you're saying there. We literally cannot connect because of this technology that is, keeping us apart. Then more attacks, more fights, more battles. I admit, like Tomino has talked about the difficulty of the Battle of the Week formula and how that restricts storytelling, and it really feels like that a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
I
mean, it does. In this movie, one of the things that not bothered me, but one of the things that kind of held the movie back to me was the fact that it just doesn't stop. Like the fighting, and after a while, you it's not that you get bored with it, but you're just like, it's like Genshin. Okay, gotta slog through this thing to get to the thing that I want to see. And it's just kind of that slog that you go through, like in regular Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam, it was relentless insofar that there was a lot of fighting and stuff like that. But but there were moments between the fights where, while it was still tough, it's still somewhat relentless, there was not that going on constantly.
Right.
And in Ideon, it's just like it's just like every 5 seconds you're just like. Yeah. Okay, I get it. War is hell, but after a while, you're just like, oh, fine, another battle, fine.
But and that's that. As you're saying, war is hell. That's I can appreciate the sort of the kinetics of it. That's like war doesn't just stop. You have a monologue, you have a dialogue, you have a moment here, and then then you just go back and there's war. It's like I get that, but it's kind of tedious when it's like you can't get any solid exposition out of anything because everything is on fighting fire, dying all the time, everywhere. So it's like clipped bits of this and a little bit of that, then a few moments of this, then a little bit more, and then it's you're juggling it all at the same time.
Brad Bird talked about when he was making Ratatouille that animators have this tendency to want to make every shot shine and make their shot be just amazing. And he said, but if all the shots in the movie are amazing, the audience will never catch their breath. There needs to be quiet moments. There needs to be back and forth. And it's very much how this feels. I feel like there's just constant action, constant things going on. It also doesn't help with the fact that because the Ide force is mysterious, what exposition we get is people going, the Ide gauge is moving. I wonder why. I don't know. Action. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
There's not a lot of no one knowing what anything is going on.
This means something. What does it mean? By the end of the series, I still don't know what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, crazy doctor research lady, like her team was supposed to, be researching this when they dug up the idiot fire trucks, and they never really get anywhere. I mean, even going and using Deep Think or whatever the heck the computer they tried to link in with, it's like they never got an answer, and it's like, and then they just stopped trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like the gauge is moving, something's happening, Baby Lou's somehow connected to this. But like, well, that's hardly scientific to go outside and be like, here you go, giant space robot god, have the baby. Like, oh, boy, you've just thrown science the hell out the window, didn't you?
I mean, it's like when she said to it, I almost felt like saying, so when am I going to hear the word ball? Offering up a baby, like, the Carthaginians.
In fairness, John, she had a hypothesis. And she was testing her hypothesis. That's science.
There's a scientific method.
There's a scientific method
horribly
insanity.
Wrong.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
yes.
and then here we come to one of my favorite parts of the whole damn.
Kerala and her sister having their little tete-a-tete.
Yeah. So you remember in the beginning of all of this. Kerala meets the one little girl who's like who killed her, her friend,
boyfriend,
not boyfriend, but
the girlfriend,
the attendant,
attendant,
Oh yeah.
All right, and so Kerala says, "Okay, shoot me. Basically, I deserve it. Fine, go ahead, shoot me." And the scene doesn't play out. The girl, doesn't do it, and whatever, and we move on from that. You get the same exact scene with her sister, and she's just like, sister, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to protect the baby inside of me. If I have to kill you, then that's what I'm going to do. And you figure there's going to be that moment of, the gun wavering. Oh no, she gets 3 shots to the face.
Yep.
To the face.
Yep.
The face.
And you get to watch her reaction.
Yep.
As she's getting shot. Yep.
And she's like, oh crap, this doesn't work again. Oh,
did she just do that? Did she just shoot me in the face?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And that was that. Now it's not like we didn't know that all these people were going to die, right? At this point, but it's still jarring to go. Well, not only was she a major character that got 3 shots to the face, she was pregnant and she got 3 shots to the face. And then you have the whole weirdness that happens after that, where everyone's just like, the baby's still okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do we know this? How does this? Did the Ideon? Is that what the Ideon gauge is for? Oh, don't worry. Baby's okay. Baby's okay. It's like a giant 8-ball, right? The baby's okay.
Medical science. Who needs that? We have this E-Day power. What's it do? We have E-Day power. Okay, gotcha. Loud and clear.
So yeah, and so at the end we'll get into what the E-Day Force I think represents, because I think that's a whole other conversation. Anyway, so yes. Bad things happen.
Really bad things
happen. So then,
at this juncture, does anything good happen? Is there anything good at the end of this film?
No.
Oh, you should cut back to that very cute girl with the ponytail inside the. Yeah, she's so adorable, isn't she?
Oh,
lock on that face.
Great,
wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. Lock in on that face, folks.
Yep.
You'll see why she plays in the part.
Yep. I'm going to try not to show the actual frame.
Let's just say she played Duck, Duck, Goose, and she missed the part about the duck.
And then again, sort of in fairness to the Buff Clan, we do get a scene between the head of the Duck Clan and Cecilia Zabi here, and where he's like, you know what, this is dumb. We should not be doing this. I'm realizing now what's going on, what the E-Day Force is doing. We need to stop. And she's like, you can't. You're the head of the Buff Clan military, basically. This is going to keep on going. Everyone's going to keep on going. You're stuck here. So again, I kind of want to give Tomino credit for the fact that he does show the alien side of things and how they're seeing what's going on and how they're not just, pure evil.
Yeah.
But still, everyone dies.
And it's still great that she has such a wonderful relationship with her father.
Yeah.
And she can have these conversations, even though he wishes that she hadn't been born a woman.
Yeah. There's some gender politics here that I'm not gonna dig into because oh boy, anyone who's planning on writing a senior thesis, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your thesis right here.
Yep.
You
sure you don't want to show that one scene?
Yes. And so basically, they, the big end of the movie is that the Buff Clan has this giant. I can shot of it here somewhere. That's their wide-shaped spaceship. Whatever. They have this giant machine that they're trying to lure the Solo Ship and the Ideon to, which will annihilate them. And it's a colony laser from Gundam, basically, right? It's that thing.
Yeah.
And so the Ideon is being drawn closer and closer to it, inevitably, of course. And this is the final battle. I do appreciate when guy from Ome Foundation, whatever, just keeps, yapping at the head of thing, and he just goes, bang, and he just continues on what he's doing. Like, no, this is insubordination. We're done here. Bad things happen. Kasha goes down, trying to defend the ship.
And she had such a pretty face.
She had such a pretty face.
Yeah, don't lift the blanket. She had such a pretty face.
That line hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. Lock in on the cute girl.
Lock on the cute girl. She'll be fine.
She's perfectly okay. Nothing bad happens to her at all.
Exactly. No.
Can you hear the sarcasm?
They're children. Nothing bad happens to kids in this film.
Anime wouldn't do that. So, point being, the Buff Clan starts actually infiltrating the Solo Ship. They get on board. Fighting is happening, and I can't pause on the shot because it contains nudity, but we also get confirmation that Corolla actually dies. So her body is no longer just sort of kept alive in some way to keep Messia alive.
Yeah.
She's done.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene.
Oh my. Yeah. The scene I had to watch several times over again. Yeah. Like, what?
Yep. War is hell and people die. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, we can always imply that people die. We can always imply because, war is hell. And we do know that children die,
Yeah.
And we can certainly imply that cute children, such as this little girl, dies. We can imply those things. We don't need to see those things. But you know what? Damn it. This is Space Runaway Ideon being invoked. So you get to see it.
Yep.
All the cards are on the table.
Yep. Exactly.
Nothing is implied.
No. It is very clear what happens there.
And your mind will not go, oh my God, it took her head clean off. She's 5. No, your mind goes, I didn't see that.
Right.
And you have to rewatch it a few times
to
make sure that you actually saw what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end and then you realize I watched this thing 5 times to watch a little girl, 5-year-old girl, get her head blown off.
And here's the hell of it. Imagine being in theaters.
Right.
Yeah, well, you see it once. You're like, what?
What
did I could just see everybody in the theater just going, did you? Hey, projection in the sky. Can you
One more time.
We're not sure we actually saw that.
Well, that's what I told you guys the first time I saw it. I was just like, she must have she turned, right? That was just like she turned to the side.
Right.
I just missed it. I just that couldn't. They wouldn't do that. Like, oh God, tell me I would.
Yep. Same here. I had to go back a couple times. And in fairness, it's framed that way. It's framed so blink and you miss it because it's just maybe I'm just not seeing something there or whatever. Nope.
Yeah.
So be ready for that.
And just one last parting thought on that particular scene. After the beam cannon goes off and off goes her head, the reason why you realize that you may have seen something awful is because her body just stands there for a moment.
Yeah.
Before it falls.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, wait, did they forget to draw her head on the cell sheet? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. At least it was quick.
Yes. Yes. There's
Sure.
that good part of it.
And so, yeah, folks on ship are getting picked off one by one. Folks are dying. There is actually a coup, finally, by the Buff Clan,
Right.
which kind of
Doesn't
impressively
really
succeeds.
Yeah.
Point out, but to your point, doesn't matter at all, because now it's time to actually, fire the gun and destroy everything and blow everything up. Which they do. And here's where I stopped showing clips of Space Runaway Ideon.
Yes.
Because
we have to.
Yes. Because YouTube will not allow me to show all of the glowy anime space nudity that is the last 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not something that's like fleeting that happens
Yeah,
in like
it's
5
not
seconds.
Like 7 minutes. Yeah.
Like there's entire scenes where you get to see what's his name's junk, and you're just like, we can stop, we can stop, please, for the love of Ghibli, stop, please, no, oh God, this is going on, it's not stopping.
But the good news is that you get to see that the whole thing's resolved. Nobody's left behind. Everybody's dead.
Did it?
Well, they're all dead. So therefore, there's nobody left behind. There's nobody that's like out there suffering in deep space. No, everyone is entirely annihilated. Isn't that a good ending?
Apparently.
Wow.
When everybody gets together, everybody's happy. We get to see Kitten again.
Yes.
Yep.
We do.
We get a little bit more of naked space Kitten and naked space Kasha and unconscious naked space Cosmo.
True.
Because that's what we want to see. And the conversations of like, oh, we're all together now, we're gonna go off and populate the planet, except for those 2 guys that just went, well, I'm here just because I don't want to be lonely anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just like, God, that was sad. That was so sad. I'm like, okay, naked space babies and okay, got it. And we're gonna find a new, got it, okay,
whatever.
Yeah.
There are plenty of girls to go around. I'm kidding. But no, and so the point being, everyone dies, but they all get sort of reborn,
somewhere else,
sort of, kind of. But that's not the end of the movie.
Nope.
No, but wait.
And we go through this whole thing.
Yeah, weirdly, like post-processed live action footage of like oceans and oceans and
3
seas
guys
and things going on.
I mean, it was
there.
almost as if they were trying to recreate that one scene from 2001.
Almost.
Boom, boom.
I don't know. This doesn't look to me, anything like 2001 sort of imagery.
No.
Rebirth, space baby? No, not at all.
Rebirth. This doesn't seem like 2001 at all.
Not in the least.
Planets cresting each other. No, I don't know what you're talking about. And then the souls raining down on some planet apparently.
Waves crashing.
480p webcam footage of an ocean. Okay, sure, fine. It's a very weird ending. Certainly very dude kind of an ending.
Yeah.
There are definitely things to have ingested beforehand to make this a more entertaining experience.
Yeah.
But,
I can sort of appreciate the artistic element of it. It's how our planet might have started. You're like, no. Probably pretty sure the naked space baby probably wasn't. That's not how that happened. But okay, cool. I respect your choices, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's like operatic music going on in the background. And folks, it doesn't go on for like 30 seconds. It goes on for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends, and you're just like, oh God.
I would have preferred the ending if it had the rain of like the souls down again, and then like a cut scene that just said, "And thus rose the crab people." Be like, yes! Crab people! Like, yay! But no, we just get artistic shots and negative of ocean stuff.
Yeah. Like, all right, I guess.
The budget ran out. Quick, throw it, slap it. Some live action video of the freaking ocean.
That's the weird thing about this movie. Like, I don't hate this movie.
No.
I don't think this movie was a bad idea. I don't think this movie was poorly conceived. I don't think the movie was like a slog. Well, it was a slog to get through, like we were talking about with the nonstop action.
Yeah.
But like, there was definitely progression to it. There was definitely kind of a logic to how things were going along, and there was clearly a point to all of it. The war is hell. We're gonna actually put you through hell.
Yeah. Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine this as a roller coaster ride?
Yeah.
Like the tooth chipper or the whiplash dramatic. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, by the end of this, I was just like, I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And not in an uplifting way, not in a wow, I've been on a huge ride and I have like lots to think about.
Right.
It just felt just like
I felt like I checked the box, honest to God.
Yeah. I felt like I've been through Hell Week.
Yeah.
Right. Like here's this torture we're gonna put you through to see if you can stand it. And now you've gone through at the end. You don't have anything to show for it, you just experienced it.
First rule of Space Runaway Ideon: we don't talk about Space Runaway Ideon.
I again, I can totally respect the process and the thought behind it. I really have a lot of notes at how you probably could have like worked this somewhat better.
Such as,
but then more time with Kitten again. This it's made for 30,000 people who already know what's going on. It's like this is a self-contained film. There's so much going on in the background of it that there's just no explanation for.
Yeah.
That if I was to sit back down and you said, okay, here's the broad framework and here's the broad story, I feel like I'd have to go in and be like, okay, hate to do this. This film's going to have to be somewhere around 5.5 hours because I'm going to click in some of these parts. I'm going to do that. I'm going to now like remove some of the immediacy of all the fighting all the time to give us some quiet, reflective moments that we can like engage a little bit more with this character, that we can understand a little bit more of their relationship, that blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but that was not how this was done. I'm not here to remake Space Runaway Ideon.
Right. Yeah.
Totally. Well, I mean, it's just that kind of thought of like, there's so much more I could have asked to explain, but this indeed absolutely wrapped up Space Runaway Ideon. Yes, absolutely
it is over.
Yes, it is done.
So when I watch this, knowing that I'm not watching the series, that's that. If you're going to watch this, and just know that if you haven't watched the television series, there are going to be things that are going to be lost to you. And you just have to roll with that, like the whole thing with Kitten. I don't think the animation was bad anyway, in any stretch of imagination. For the time period that was made in.
Absolutely.
So and to the point of the combat scenes, while there was a little bit too much, they were done well. These are there are things about Ideon that these are conceptual visuals that are done well, and so you can get it and grasp it on that level. And but if you have to be a fan of the TV show to watch it, that takes away a lot of it. Now, and to your point, John, one of the things I was thinking about as you were talking about, this is going to have to be 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. It's like the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie? It's like 4 hours. Well, Mobile Suit Gundam Origins went over 2 or 3 parts, I think. 2 parts actually, and gave you the story that you needed to have. But they definitely said, oh no, we're not condensing this into 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it was. Where we're gonna broaden this to make sure you get the point, get everything to it. So it's not something that this is something I would recommend with caveats,
right?
Just understand that there are going to be parts of this that are going to frustrate you. Is it worth watching? I think in context of this historical anime, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. As a Saturday night, hey, I'm gonna watch something on Netflix. I don't know what else to watch.
It's 3 a.m. at 3 a.m. anime. No.
Do you like anime? No. I don't really know anime. Try watching Space Runaway Ideon, the movie.
Oh, and one thing that
probably not something I'm gonna recommend.
No.
And I will absolutely not recommend that you drink malt liquor before or during.
Definitely not.
Because you're just gonna start throwing things.
Anger. Pure anger. Rage.
John in chat is absolutely right. It's a bit like Serenity, the Firefly movie.
Yes.
So if you're familiar with that movie, you know that it is essentially a final episode of Firefly. It can be watched as a standalone movie, but it's really, it's got all these characters in it that are well established at the before the beginning of the movie. So it's it's really there for people who are familiar with the show more than just average sci-fi fan to watch the movie.
Right.
Gotcha.
I would say it would be interesting. I'm not going to do this, but it would be an interesting experiment to go back, watch Ideon, watch the episodes of Ideon that made up the first movie. So watch all that material, jump to the episode with Kitty, and then watch Be Invoked. I think that would actually be a cohesive story because you'd have all that background.
Yeah. And you have some connection to her to make her death significantly meaningful, not just curiosity as part of the plot.
Oh, look, her head. Look at that.
Right.
Oh, wow, look at the animation of that, the reflection on his visor. Wow.
Oh, and I just bought her a hat.
Oh.
Apparently there's another YouTube video with the title Space Runaway Ideon is a Lovecraftian horror anime. I don't agree, but I see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So what do you think the point of Ideon is? Like the franchise, the story. Like what is Tomino trying to say with this franchise?
Other than everybody dies? Huh.
I think War is Hell is definitely a thing.
There's got to, I mean, it feels like that our differences are only sort of on the surface. That the Buff clan doesn't know how to engage the Earthling humans. The Earthling humans don't know what to do about the Buff clan, and nobody, even though we're structurally similar, nobody's willing to sit down and dialogue. Like fighting is the immediate answer to it. War is the answer. It's an accidental first shot erupts this entire thing that destroys both civilizations. And it's just like, okay, it feels to me like, is that one of the messages that by dialogue we can solve things?
And I would say I completely agree. And I think it's also not just dialogue; it's open-mindedness of the folks involved in dialogue, of being willing to talk, make concessions, etc., and not just say, "Well, okay, I'll sit down at the table." No, you have to actually be willing.
You can be committed to the process of not just talking, but talking substantively.
Yeah.
So, as
maybe a human fear of strange, large fire truck robots. I mean, that could also be the message, I guess, maybe.
So, after going through this slog of a couple movies and this thing, obviously talking about if you just kind of just think through things before you do something, because that's pretty much how this all started. Is Corolla pretty much it's her fault, honest to God, she started everything by not, going, hey, let's follow a protocol where if something happens, then we can either jump back and prevent worse things from happening, or open the dialogue and say, hey, let's sit down and break bread and talk a little bit. And and instead of a bigger part of the message being don't cater to your base or fears of just outright different, therefore we kill, and go through this war, and then just like everybody's saying, let's just try to open the dialogue, because at a certain point everything's destroyed, everything's doomed, and that's Tomino going, this is what war is eventually going to end as, and then of course we get the idea that Ideon can be a the trope of nuclear weapons for Japanese people in the anime, where here's the big destructive force. Are we meant to have this? Are we supposed to have this? But Ideon is, throughout the whole thing, seems to be guided by something else, and it's doing it through these children for some godforsaken reason. But at the end of it, even though everybody's being wiped out, both civilizations, both planets, everything is wiped out and dead and killed. They are given a second chance together, bringing both of the races together onto this one planet. So it's almost like the archetype thing. It's where everyone gets wiped out. God decides, okay, you all suck.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wipe everything out, and we're gonna start over again. And that's what Ideon feels like to me. It's not necessarily biblical, but basically it's going, just this other power, just like, this is the tool I'm going to use to tell people you all suck and we need to start this over again.
Doba, who I just looked up, is the name of the Supreme Commander of the Buff Clan military, the guy with the awesome beard. He makes the statement that the Ideon is all about karma. The Ide Force is trying to find people who lack karma, basically, who are free of karma. And the problem being that if you have any knowledge of Buddhism and such, is that we all have karma. By making any choices, the only people who don't have karma are, of course, very young children, right? Which opens the very interesting question of how they actually created Ideon and what's inside Ideon, if not a whole bunch of children. But moving beyond that one.
Oh God, I just gotta get millions of screaming baby souls in there going, we are refusing to sing, let us out. God, it's horrific.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, the toy manufacturer is going, yes, it's made for children of children. Oh no!
And in fairness, we get the hint that, well, actually, we don't know that. I was going to say everyone gets reborn, but they get reborn to repopulate the other planet, not to fuse with Ideon.
Yeah.
Right.
But a point being, like, the reason everyone's fighting is because they have this buildup of karma that prevents them from actually changing, from actually growing, from actually forgiving. They're just set in their ways. I don't know if he's right, but I think it's an interesting sort of interpretation that this is all because folks are stuck. To your point, John, as well. That's kind of the goal. Here's the other question: Are the humans in the Buff Clan the U.S. and Japan?
Well, Buff Clan is definitely Japanese.
Right.
The English, one of the dub versions uses the word, uses a lot of Japanese words, samurai and stuff like that.
But like, if you look at the Japanese declaration of war, it's, we don't want a war. We're just being pushed around by the U.S. and we have to fight, right? That was very much the justification of, we have this giant power that's sort of pushing us around, and we have to defend ourselves.
Well, I don't know. Because at the beginning of all this, they're talking about, well, what happens? Well, we kind of know about these people, and they're kind of like us. If they're level technology, nobody knows anything about each other, so it's not really
Right.
that anybody's pushing against each other. It's just that they just don't know, and like the Buff Clan was saying, to Crawl, saying, hey, go in this gently because we really don't know that much, so we really don't know what's going to happen here. And she is like, hey, it's fine, don't worry about nothing.
Well,
what could happen? So I don't think that there's necessarily that one is pushing the other one.
Well, I don't think that setup is a one-to-one correspondence.
Yeah,
Right.
I completely agree. Like that doesn't match at all. But the positioning of the two against each other in a war does have some interesting parallels.
Where you've got Buff Clan on one side of the galaxy, Earth on the other side, and this sort of meeting zone where the Ideon is. I don't know. I mean, I feel that a lot of the nuclear boogeyman that Steven had brought up, where it's this superpower, whether it be a robot or whether it be the nuclear genie, that once you let it out, everybody loses.
Yeah. I think that definitely tracks.
But yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that because you could easily say in World War II there was on both sides there was a lot of aircraft carriers, a lot of planes, a lot of parity. That some weapon systems were not one-to-one comparison, but a lot of parity that kind of made it an even race. And just a few things tipped the difference, and it's like, I don't know. I hadn't thought of that that being a Japan USA kind of thing.
And to be clear, I bring this up because people believe that every mecha series is a symbol of World War II. So I want to kind of get it out on the table. I agree that it's not a great fit. I think there are some sort of broad symbolic parallels. But I don't think it's as clear as, for example, Xeon in Gundam,
right? Yeah,
which is like, okay, yeah, I see more where they're coming from there. But I don't know. It's interesting. Any other thoughts on this movie?
It was certainly a film.
True. It was the thing.
It was the thing.
It was the thing that we can all be naked space babies if we just die horribly, screaming, burning deaths.
Yes. It was very interesting to see how they brought Ideon to a close after having seen how they brought the television series to a close.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? To that point, this is the movie ending is more satisfactory.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
To that point,
definitely.
Yeah.
It feels like the ending of a movie made a decade earlier. We all live. Not in the Yellow Submarine. But we're all together now, and it's all wonderful, and we all reincarnate. Great.
Yeah. No more physical pain. Hooray. We're all good.
Yeah. We're just not on Mars this time.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, God.
All the eyes are on Mars.
So yeah, and I completely agree with you, Steve. Like this is interesting from a historical note, like worth watching as an important bit of anime history, but not satisfying media.
Yeah.
In the way of a lot of other things. But it doesn't have to be. Fine. It's kind of funny. Like when I was hearing, I heard about the movie, I heard all the legends about it. I was like, why doesn't anyone talk about it? Like, why isn't this part of the dialogue? Now I know why. This is not a movie folks watch and then recommend to their friends.
Yeah.
I saw the best thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is what had to happen at the time. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for making a very specific film for a very specific group of people.
Can you just
much as it been as brought up, like Firefly, thank goodness that a specific thing was made for specific people.
But can you just imagine the toy manufacturers at the end of it are just like going, okay, so we're at the end of the Ideon movie, and we're gonna make new toys. Wait a minute, there's nothing but naked space babies left. Damn it. Well, okay, it's the fire trucks. It is the fire trucks of doom. It is.
Well, you can make naked space fire trucks. I mean,
True.
just kind of synergize the whole thing.
Sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, it sounds like bankruptcy to me. I mean, that sounds great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, do that.
All right, that will do it. We're going to take a quick break, just a few minutes, and we will be back to talk about more modern anime and the latest anime news. Be right back. Let me redo a few things here. Hold on. Wait a minute, everyone. Hold on.
Hang on, mission control.
I gotta just redo some things. There we go.
There we go.
And we're back, I think.
Oh,
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I tried to signal. We are back. We have a new system, so we're still getting used to all of the things and ways that works. Let's take a moment, a little breather, talk about the anime we've been watching, if any expeditions you've been making into anime land. Folks in chat, let us know what you've been watching lately. And any questions you have, the three of us in general, about anime. John, how about you?
trying to keep up with keeping up. So my stepmom's daughter is my ex, Black Summoner, Harem and Labyrinth, Devil's a Part-Timer. Oh God, what else? Call of the Night, Vermeil, Gold, Vermeil and Gold, whatever that one was. Oh God, Sorademo Ayumu, which was When Will You Ayumu Make His Move? The one about Shogi.
Right.
So I've been trying to keep up with all of them as best I possibly can, and so far I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Because I think yesterday I got up at 4:30 in the morning because it's going to be so unbearably hot this weekend. I got up, got the dogs out, was on the road, on the beaten path at 5 a.m. So it had not gotten to be light yet. So it's fun walking around in the dark in the morning, and then got everybody sort of taken care of, and then I got home. So I finished all the dog walks. It's now like 11 o'clock in the morning and hot. Sit down, cool off, cold towel to the head. Everybody's got water. Start to watch it. 2 hours. I was just gone for 2 hours. Well, huh?
Yeah.
I got a couple episodes done, and it was just like I couldn't focus. I was just like, So that's been the week so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How about y'all?
Steve, any anime on your list?
Well, let's see here. So, I had a really busy week. I told the guys before we got on. It's vacation time in my job. So, we're filling in for each other. So it was a bunch of 9 and 10 hour shifts. So it was a lot this week. I will tell you that I revisited a fun classic for me, not anime, but sci-fi, and rereading it.
Oh, wow.
2001.
There we go.
And kind of rereading it and just really enjoying the heck out of it. Like to point out that when you have a significant other, so a cute lady who likes to bring you food, who understands you, she gets you cool things. Like one of the things that she got me were, my pair of Ideon death guns, black hole guns. So, always fun. And, it's always cool when you have someone that'll, for your birthday, get you comic books.
Vampirella?
This is Marvel, the new Defenders. Marvel, for you Marvel comic book fans. Yes, she got me that.
Nice.
And in return, what I did for her, for all these wonderful, lovely gifts, is I made her watch the trailer for Tokyo Mew Mew, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
To which point she looked at me. Keep in mind that she loves Bebop and Death Note, and loves Euro Camp and all these other things. Looked at me and was. I said, "Oh, it's Magical Girl anime." To which the response was, "What? What?" So I think there was just a lack of understanding, and I could not explain it very well.
Okay, gotcha.
So I felt it was a little bit one sided that she does all these wonderful things. For I was like, oh hey, there's this thing Tokyo Mew because she likes cats and I was just like, oh okay, I kind of felt that. So, but that was
for a cup of tea apparently,
right? Yeah. But no, it's so that was about it for this week. I had to actually take a little bit of a break from the watch party the other day because I actually found that my left eye, the eyelids for 2 days afterwards, were fluttering because they were so exhausted.
Okay.
So I was like, and like to your point, John, there was like the other night because I normally stay up late, really late. I said the other night I was just like, I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna read some 2001. Just like, and then I was up at like 4:30 a.m. going, what? I'm late for my Spanish exam. What's going on? So,
Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah. So that was my week. How about you, Brent?
Nothing. I have been
Nothing.
catching up on sleep in preparation for Otakon.
Oh yes.
Because I'll be on a bunch of panels at Otakon, and my schedule is going to be tiring. It's all over the place. I'll be there in lots of different hours, so I am trying to be as rested up as I possibly can, so that by Sunday I am not stumbling over my words. I actually spent some time today reviewing my Parents' Guide to Anime panel and updating all the references to anime that didn't just come out in the 90s. So that kind of thing. So hopefully that will be fun and helpful to those. But yeah, on the anime front, nothing this week, which is absolutely fine. This is normally where I say, "Did you all hear that?" But I can't pull up the video, so give me 1 second.
But Steve can still say,
or something.
there you go.
There we go.
And the hat.
And the hat. Gotta have the hat.
Hat.
Hat exists. So, and I forgot to change the banner. I should have done that. Oh, well. It is instead time for some anime news. And we'll start with some fun news. Fun is fun, so why not do that? The summer is really heating up, and what better way to deal with a heat wave than existential dread? No, wait, getting splashed at a water park.
Wow.
The Toei Movie Village theme park in Kyoto has opened up a new Neon Genesis Evangelion-themed water park event titled Splash Evangelion Kyoto Base 2022, where two angels, or staff members in angel mascot suits, hose guests down with water cannons. Beneath the inspiring presence of a 15-meter-tall EVA Unit 1 statue, guests fight back with EVA-colored water guns and different gear like EVA ponchos and inflatable ATF shields, which most importantly, guests can purchase and take home. Just to give you an idea, because it's important.
God. Oh,
Wow.
No.
There's a giant EVA Unit 1. You have your ponchos. You have your AT fields.
Oh.
Yep. This is actually a thing.
Wow.
Because why not? Because why not?
It's peeing on you.
No, the water cannons don't come out of there.
Okay, good.
There's like a wave pool kind of a thing.
It's like a fever dream.
It's very weird.
Can you just imagine all the people cosplaying as Asuka and Rey in plug suits going, water me down.
I'm doing a TikTok video. Hit me with the hose.
It's not late enough yet, everyone. Of course, themed food must also be available. After you fought off a water-attacking angel, you can purchase shaved ice in a commemorative Evangelion-themed cup. Because, of course.
And pretend you're eating another angel. Okay.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, my God.
I could just see every little terrified child and their wisecracking otaku parents being like, ha ha ha, Billy, get in the pool. Get in the pool, Billy. It's just like Shinji. Oh, shut up.
If you get a chance, they have posted a YouTube video.
Oh, no.
Which includes a guy who is apparently having the time of his life, like directing the people and what to do and like announcing all the things that are happening. It's glorious. Deploy AT fields. It's great. It's fantastic.
Does he work there, or is he just an visitor?
Some guy screaming.
Somebody who's really into it. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Moving right along, the wait is finally over. It's time to start planning a trip to the Studio Ghibli theme park, or at least look at the info and pretend that you're planning a trip. The park will officially open on November 1st, and a number of preparatory updates came this week. First, the park's opened an official Twitter account with pictures, behind the scenes, sneak peeks, all that kind of fun stuff. They also shared a high-res image of the park's map. showing the full layout of the park and pointing out particular notable attractions. Previously released artwork of the venue was also released in HD, with fans encouraged to use them within the bounds of common sense. A lottery for advanced ticket sales will open on August 10th, which were announced on September 2nd. General ticket sales opening September 10th. So it is coming. Time is coming. At some point soon, you'll be able to go to the Ghibli theme park, which is pretty cool.
It'd also be nice if they'd open up the country so we can come visit the country and the theme park. Not just
maybe they know something we don't.
I would like to think so.
One can hope.
Now, if you're in need of new earbuds, this is the week for you. Not one, but two anime have upcoming collaborations with Japanese audio brand Zini, bringing special customized Bluetooth earbuds complete with matching cases and chargers. Gainax's Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water.
Oh, wow.
Is getting the headphones as part of its 30th anniversary celebrations. With the case featuring, with the case featuring the Nautilus there in silhouette.
What? Okay.
The blue earbuds have ancient Atlantean lettering, which is pretty cool. The second set features Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045.
Wow.
The logo on the case and special charging pad with custom art of Major Tsubagi. In addition, each set of earbuds features newly recorded voice lines. The Major herself gives you guided instructions on how to use the earbuds, while Electra does the same for the Nadia set. So they're all already sold out. I'm kidding.
I was like,
you know the otaku are snapping those up.
Oh,
good right and left.
No joke.
And all the instructions are in Japanese, so if you bought them and tried to install them here and pair them with your phone, they won't work at all. You'll never understand it. I'd still buy it. So Nadia's 30th, which explains why. And periodically, I've sent you guys like stuff on the Discord where it's like, oh, there's a Nadia Nendoroid, then there's the Nautilus like model. It's like Nadia stuff just keeps popping up, and I was wondering what, but that makes absolute sense now. The 30th came.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. It is now. It is that very much.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, totally. Moving on to some more normal anime news. The launch of a new anime studio was announced this week by animator Yuki Igarashi, known for his direction on the Star Wars Visions Wapen Ocho episode. It'll be called Outline, and it debuted an anime music video this week. And it's a new studio under a company called Twin Engines, Engine of the Animation Studio team, alongside Bug Film and Scooter Film, who were established in October of last year. So it's fun stuff happening.
Okay.
The Gundam Info website announced an upcoming manga last week called Despair Memory Gundam Sequel, which takes place 20 years after the last Great War, and where the Gundam, which ended the war, is now seen as the enemy of peace itself. So it'll debut on the Comiplex website July 29th. Another new week, another set of One Piece news. Firstly, the manga is getting ready to return from its 1 month hiatus. And Eiichiro Oda posted a handwritten message on Twitter ahead of the new chapter that definitely made some waves in the fandom. Oda talked about how he's dreamed since he was a kid of drawing a manga where the end is the most exciting part, and stated that with the end of the current arc, the groundwork is almost finished. That's right. The last 25 years of One Piece has only counted as groundwork for whatever is about to come next.
Wow. It better be earth-shattering for this much time.
The manga celebrated its 25th anniversary on the 22nd, and a commemorative video was posted this week paying homage to the long and epic saga of the manga and to the 3,463 pen nibs Oda has gone through drawing the series so far.
Wow.
The video pairs a trail of pens and ink with important manga pages, retracing the story's rather long journey and process of its creation. Good for them.
The last part of it is just Luffy in bed, and he dies and drops a snow globe.
Yeah.
Oh God!
And it's the little straw hat boat in the snow globe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
The scream was heard from tens of thousands of fans.
No, everyone will die and then become naked space babies.
Oh God. Everything becomes idiom. Oh,
Yeah, everything comes with the
Oh,
We
wow, there we go.
are Ideon.
Now, an event was held this week at Kanekawa's MF Bunko J light novel imprint, and 2 new anime series were announced. Let's talk about some anime announcements. The Days with My Stepsister and Sasaki and Peeps novels are both getting TV anime. Days with My Stepsisters centers on a high schooler named Yuta, whose father gets remarried, resulting in him gaining a new stepsister. And no, this is not going where you think it's going. The two, having witnessed the nature of their parents' previous relationships, agree to keep a comfortable distance. None of them really know how to be siblings or have a relationship, but they slowly grow more comfortable with one another as time goes by. So it's about becoming siblings.
So the hand holding and the pregnancy and everything else is just incidental.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, good. Let me understand that.
Totally.
I
Sasaki
smell a
and-
lie.
Sasaki and Peeps stars a tired and lonely businessman who visits the pet store one day on a whim and adopts an adorable bird. When he gets the bird home, however, it reveals it's actually a powerful sage from another world and bestows on him supernatural powers and the ability to travel between worlds.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest here. When you were saying that it's going to be this guy, he's a lonely
Yeah.
guy who's going to get this bird, I'm like thinking,
Aw.
like yeah. And honest.
My
I was just
roommate is a
like,
cat,
well,
but with a bird.
well,
Exactly.
and I was thinking like of Akira Kurosawa's Ikuru, that beautiful movie. It's very sad,
Mm.
but I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
okay, it'll be a nicer, more uplifting version of that, because the guy is lonely in that movie, and I was like thinking, oh, you know what, hey, I might actually,
Yeah.
give this a go. It's a powerful sage, and you're just, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, fudgicles.
Fudgicles,
Yes.
indeed.
Exactly.
Fudgicles, indeed, yes.
Let's see here. A TV anime is also on the way for, and this actually has me intrigued, The Slow Second Life of the Retired Dark Soldier in His 30s novel series. It'll start in January. The story centers on a magicless soldier who instead used his intellect and initiative as assistant to a captain in the Dark Lord's army to get ahead. When said captain is replaced, however, Dario loses his position, retires to a village of humans, and starts a new life by using his abilities to accept requests for help. So it's just a retired soldier who goes to a village and is like, okay, how do I help?
So basically, it's an anime version of The Equalizer.
Sure.
You don't know that show?
I don't know that either.
Yeah.
No, I-
Really? And you don't know the Denzel Washington remake movies?
I've heard of
No.
I'm
God,
I'm
where's
aware
my
of it
Walker?
I
Where's my Walker?
involve my media viewage of a certain type of media. It's called anime.
Exactly.
So I have no idea.
All right. Discussion to be had later.
The Black Channel Breaking the Wall short manga is ending on August 12th and announced a short anime adaptation on YouTube. According to ANN, it centers on a demon who comes to the human world in search of content for videos.
It's actually kind of funny.
And he wants to expose the hidden side of humans, games, and hobbies. He has a high efficiency assistant named Camera Chan. I wonder what that is. So again, short YouTube series. So I think this is going to be more
Right,
like
yeah.
gag manga kind
Yeah.
of style of thing. Moving back to some regular anime news. Tokyo Pop announced during its Comic-Con panel this week it's partnered with a Ukrainian publisher to translate and release a graphic novel anthology titled Victory for Ukraine, a collection of stories by Ukrainian creators about the country's current conflict.
Oh, wow.
A share of profits will be donated to Ukrainian nonprofit organizations, and they aim to release the book on Ukrainian Independence Day, August 24th. That's pretty cool.
That's very cool, actually.
Exactly. Toho Animation, the studio behind Haikyuu, My Hero Academia, and Spy Family, and many others, is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, rather. It's announced a live stage event coming in September featuring guest voice actors and a look back at the history of the studio. September 25th in Tokyo, and it'll be on the Toho YouTube channel. Crunchyroll announced this week that the cost of Crunchyroll premium memberships has decreased in nearly 100 international territories. Sadly, not in the US. The cost decrease will affect regions including the UK, where the mega fan tier has dropped in cost by £2, as well as China, India, Brazil, and many others. The change also includes the cost transitioning from a set cost in USD to a set cost in the local currency from a number of countries. So basically, as they're evolving the platform, they're able to simplify and lower costs here and there and kind of do that. So
nice.
That's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Costs going down. Great. Also wondering if that's helped by the Funimation acquisition of them saying, you don't have to do it this way, you can do it this way. And that, makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Finally, some Pokemon trading card game related news. A free digital art exhibition of the card game is coming from August 10th to October 23rd with support for 10 languages, which is pretty cool. An online illustration exhibition to be divided into 3 areas. Life, exploring artwork of Pokemon in their natural habitats. Natural habitats, they don't exist. History, exploring the evolution of the game's illustrations over the years. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So they'll show how the artwork's evolved.
In the ancient Poke civilization.
Yes, exactly. We
Right.
definitely exist. And artists exploring the individual illustrators and their approaches to creating Pokemon art. It'll feature comments from 50 artists and illustrators. That sounds cool. Again, it'll be digital, and it should be available in English. So
nice.
Very interesting. I always appreciate when there's an exhibition that is not just here's a bunch of stuff. It's like here's some history, here's some look at the art, here's some more kind of analysis and thought behind it, which is very cool. That's it.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Exactly. A fairly short news week, but just some stuff going on. It's summer, so I'm sure we're getting new stuff soon. And to be clear to everyone watching, we just got the new anime this past couple of weeks, and so there's no new anime being announced for a little while. We have a ways to go on that, so we're kind of in a middle point on things.
Everybody's getting splashed at Evangelion Park, so they're not making new anime right now.
Exactly. Looking in chat. Hey, Young Man. Hey, Legendary Anime JP fan. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. Glad to see you a little while. And let's go ahead and turn that off because we're no longer in the anime news. Just wanted to say hi to some folks in chat. Yes, I have seen Vampire Princess Miyu. I have not seen Blue Seed. Steve, have you seen Blue Seed?
Blue Seed.
I thought I remember you talking about it once. Yeah,
Blue Seed. Which one is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think collectively we've seen a lot of anime.
Yeah, Blue Seed I have not seen. That's one of the ones that just kind of passed me by. But
yes,
Miyu,
I have
definitely.
seen that. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of Blue Seed?
It's been a long time. It's definitely I don't forget what it came out in, but I think it's early 2000s, late 90s. It's a OVA, if I remember. And I have
episodes, October
26
94
now.
to March
What am I
1995.
There's an OVA and a TV series.
TV series. Oh, that's right. I had the OVA. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I have the OVA. So it's your typical kind of like magical thing happening in Tokyo or name whatever Japanese large city, and girl has to save the world kind of thing.
Okay.
Or her part of it. It is unfortunately, while it's a nice anime to watch, it's not in any top 10 list really anywhere. But it's noted for its one particular scene that actually doesn't go anywhere, but it involves tentacles. But it doesn't do the thing that you think it does.
Gotcha.
They tap dance and sing. Oh
yes, and they share stories. No,
lovely.
No, it's just a horror.
I'm flashing to Spaceballs.
Yeah. Hello, yeah.
Little top hat.
Little chest burster.
Oh dear. Interesting. That's very much what I've heard of Blue Seed is nice, enjoyable, but not top tier.
Right. Yeah.
Miyu, I've seen the OVA and the TV series. The OVA particularly is very atmospheric, sort of gothic horror, supernatural creepiness OVA, and very effective at that. I think if you're into that kind of weird supernatural, somewhat psychological stuff, where it's not just random ghosts. Vampire Princess Miyu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you like the thing where it's not just where demons aren't just sort of randomly appearing, they are they have to be invited in, so to speak. There's always some component of somebody who wants revenge on somebody or whatever, right? It's that those kinds of stories. So there's always something a little more complicated in there. And Miyu herself is a pretty interesting character once you get into it and her backstory. So definitely recommended, but also very much visually of their time. Hey, Jed, good to see you too. Haven't seen you around in a little bit. Shifting around of schedule and such are a thing, which sometimes happens. Speaking of, quick announcement for everyone. First off, again, Otakon, this coming up weekend, which we will be doing an anime, a post show of next week. Talk about all our experiences at Otakon, which should be fun. Also,
or it'll be an hour long of us going, yes, or actually, that'll be you, Brent, or John. I'll be just like, so what he's trying to say, if we can stay,
Just all of us asleep in chairs, sitting in the same room.
My life is a lie.
And I'm just updating some things. Also, should be noted. That's going to be interesting. Sorry. I did not plan this out very well. I realized this past week that I think this channel is kind of boned. So I diversified a lot with a lot of the content back in the day. You all may have remembered when it was Geek Spectrum, when I did a lot of like astronomy stuff, and we did. I was doing Workshop Wednesdays and all that kind of stuff. I think that had the effect of I think the YouTube algorithm really hated that and it suppresses views on my videos as a result. I've not been able to really get a lot of traction on views on videos ever since then. So what I've decided to do to try to deal with that is I'm starting a second channel, and I am right now just actually broadcasting to both. I'm actually doing that right now. This very stream is going to both channels simultaneously.
Ooh, didn't know that.
So we're going to see what happens on that other channel. And if indeed that channel is able to get more traction, then in the future, we will continue doing exactly the same thing. I'm just going to move to the new channel. I'll just have a new URL for the YouTube channel. Again, everything else will be exactly the same. It'll just be a different address, different channel physically on YouTube. Again, I got to kind of look in to see what's going on with the views and how that goes. So this is not guaranteed, but just FYI, potentially in the future, that might happen. So just want to let you all know about that as a potential thing coming up. And then I'm going to try to do one last thing. And then we can actually do This Week in Anime History. Imagine that. And I think we've got these in order. We do. Cool. Let's see if we can make this happen. Let me check the comments here real quick.
Make the magic happen.
Yeah, exactly, John. It's like, we got a John in chat. I think YouTube is just holding us down. So you gotta live by the algorithm, sadly. All right. Oh, you know what would be better? Let me do I'm going to do a title banner, and then we can actually switch the shows. Look at that.
Song and dance? Okay.
Yeah. Hello, baby. Hello, honey. Yep. Hello, Rock. Welcome to This Week in Anime History, where we talk about things that happened this week in anime history. And we're going to go on a roller coaster ride this week. Oh, boy. July 21st, 1983 was the premiere of Barefoot Gen in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, who would like to summarize Barefoot Gen for the audience?
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God.
War
So
sucks.
it's
Atomic
war
war
sucks.
really super sucks.
sucks.
Surviving
it's
atomic war
Atomic
really
war
super
really
sucks.
sucks.
Sadness,
So
pain, fire, crying.
crying.
Yeah.
So if ever wanted to read a story from the point of view of a young boy who's 11 or 12 years old, who survives the nuclear attack, and when I say survive, he's actually there for it,
Yeah.
and what the immediate graphic aftermath of that in manga form. If you want to hurt yourself and you don't want to cut yourself, this is what you would do instead.
Oh, this is just emotional pain, Steve. It's not the
That's what I'm
same.
saying. No, it's actually something that should be read. It's relevant. It's actually, if you want to get an idea of that, what's so bad about war? Well, read this, because it's about the after effects of war. So it's not just we're dealing with, okay, here's the war that like we were talking about in Ideon and Gundam. This is what happens to regular people after the stuff happens, and the fact that life does not go on normally afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's horrific, and I cannot stress enough, it is very graphic. This is not for the kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend watching Grave of the Fireflies and Barefoot Gen at the
Same time. Yeah.
But it's probably, I also
In
wouldn't
that vein,
pair it with
yeah.
like Kiki's Delivery Service or Totoro. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, be aware. A year later, exactly, 21st July 1984, we got the release of the Macross movie. Do you remember Love?
Yay!
Who wants to describe this movie?
John, why don't you uplift everybody now that I've given everyone just a
it's got
downer?
song and deliciousness. It's wonderful and space
everybody dies.
battles and everybody dies. Oh. I mean, and this is, we've just gone through Ideon. We've got the Ideon movies that respond to the Ideon fan base. Do You Remember Love is an entire gorgeous gift, big gift package, smack right in the mouth for Macross fans, so that you get a slice of like the end of Macross. You get a slice of the great big giant cataclysmic battle, and not a ton of fill in on who the heck anybody is, but you know, again, like Ideon, if you are a Macross fan, this is like, it's gorgeously animated for its time. It is just to the point where it's like I've been searching for Veritech mech and stuff that's in that film only one time for less than 20 seconds. It's like, it drives you. It's so good at what it does for all those people who are so totally into it that I enthuse. Oh, watch it. It's lovely. And anyone else?
Okay. All right. That happened. Moving on a few years later to the arrest of Tsutomu Miyazaki, the otaku murderer. Which must be remembered. He, I will say this much, kidnapped several little girls and did very bad things to them. And was arrested and was discovered to have been a huge otaku. And of not just the normal anime stuff, but of some particular things. And this kicked off a huge conversation in Japan about sort of anime and manga in general, and the permissiveness of what is shown and provided on television. For example, violence in shonen anime got toned down after this event because of concerns about that. And there's a lot of kind of talk and conversation about and it wasn't anime should be banned, but it was, is there an extreme element of anime and manga that we should be concerned about? So it did definitely change things.
Well, I mean, that's like the Tipper Gore thing. with explicit lyrics in music, you know, and the
I wouldn't.
and
No, it wasn't quite on that level. It was more along the lines as an actual talking that the industry itself kind of self-regulated, as opposed to
Tipper Gore. There was no specific event that Tipper Gore was responding to.
Right.
Yeah.
Where a horrific thing happened.
But in its time, there were plenty of it, like D. Snyder. His testimony before Congress and talking about events where people said, "Oh, listening to Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train, I lost my mind and I killed 2 people," and it's like that was a part of that contemporary discussion at the time about this music. It fuels insanity for people who are just susceptible to that. You know, along with the Play the Beatles album backwards, and it says Paul is dead, and there's demonic. All of that kind of coalesced into that same time period. You also saw, I think it was also around the same period of time that you saw the Educational Television Act sort of promulgated in Congress, which was to make, instead of having just stupid, nonsensical Saturday morning cartoons, that they started pushing the idea that you had to have messages and you had to have not just ridiculous cartoon violence, that you had to have some kind of redeeming element to it, which was the sort of kickoff where you don't see ABC, NBC, CBS with any kind of real substantive 1970s, 1980s cartoons start out for Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far because there wasn't that kind of pushback, and there wasn't that kind of censorship, if you will.
I can't remember what the article was I was reading. I was saying Disney specifically for ABC chopped their Disney's One Saturday Morning because of the educational requirements. They felt they weren't able to deliver on that. So that they started going through Sports Center.
Right,
and they started going like more live action kind of things that they could get away from the regulatory idea about, you need to do these things with your stuff. They're like, nope.
Exactly my point. Like there was no regulation that came out of this in Japan. Like this was not a...
Well, but I'm just saying, it's like, the idea of these things where it's like conceptually that this guy was fueled by these things. It's like, we had some of those similar kind of concepts in that time period.
Yes, very, very true. Yes, exactly.
I just thought his mugshot, he looked perpetually confused.
He was an interesting. I mean, if you want to dig into it, like there's certainly
it's an interesting story. Yeah, like if you're into true crime, give it a look. But otherwise,
it's bad,
disturbing, extremely disturbing.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
put it that way.
Yeah.
Moving on from one low to another, July 18th, 2019 is the anniversary of the Kyoto Animation Fire. Where a lone man set fire to one of the buildings of Kyoto Animation, and a number of people died in the fire. A number were injured, obviously, as well. Led to Kyoto Animation being put on hold for quite a while as they recovered. And then kind of got back into steam, but pushed back a lot of work, and just very sad. And if it just came from somebody who apparently just like they weren't answering his letters in a way he appreciated. So very sad, but must be remembered. Like these things happened, they happened, and I don't want it to just be consigned to history forever. So let's end on Spirited Away. July 2021 was the premiere of Spirited Away in Japan, Hayao Miyazaki's final film.
Before his 10th retirement.
Yeah, but before his next final film, right. Famously inspired by some of his friends' children, and seeing there wasn't a lot of stories about that period in life where you're no longer a child, you're starting to think about what your future is going to be like, and you have to start maturing, out of childhood and what that's like. And so it was very much him kind of exploring those themes in a very fantastical, fun way. And it's really, really, really remarkable film, and definitely also remarkable for the fact that it got a not a wide release, but a fairly spread out release in America. So a lot of folks got a chance to go and actually see that in theaters. which was really awesome to be able to actually see a Miyazaki movie in theaters. It was probably the first one. Like Mononoke got a theater release, but it was pretty small. Which was probably the first like significant theater release for a Miyazaki film. And definitely, I know a lot of folks, were like, I've heard of this Miyazaki guy. Let me go see that movie.
Yeah.
And that was their chance to kind of get introduced to Miyazaki. And arguably kind of introduced him, especially his family films, to the U.S. And a lot of kids grew up on Spirited Away because of that release, which is awesome. Anyone want to summarize Spirited Away?
Not dark.
Yeah, and there's some dark moments, but definitely not. Definitely not Barefoot Ken.
No naked space babies. No nuclear holocaust. No.
Don't take gold from a guy called No Face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have I told you guys the Adam Savage story of No Face? Have I mentioned that on stream before?
I think you've said it before, and I remember seeing a video about him going around San Diego Comic-Con. I thought it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. If anyone doesn't, Google Adam Savage No Face speech. It is an interesting story about going around as No Face. But yes. We're looking to the comments again. That's right, Spirited Away is coming back to theaters in October in the US. So if you guys want to check that out in theaters, it's a good movie, a good theater movie. Definitely a big experience.
I wonder if it'll go into IMAX.
Ooh.
Oh, geez, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. That has to be kind of overwhelming in that. Should be also be pointed around. I always appreciate the fact that in Spirited Away, you have an anime movie set at a bathhouse, and yet you only see like gods without clothes on. Classy. Thank you, Miyazaki. I appreciate that. Especially considering Totoro, where like 5 minutes in and you have the entire family taking a bath. It's like,
yeah.
But anyway, that's all the news for this week. Thanks for watching. See you next week. All right, switch over to the banners. Out. I have a question. What did we learn on the Shelter Island? I'm going to say it's late enough. I'm glad to know that Evangelion can still make people wet. That's what I learned this week.
I applaud you, sir. I applaud you.
John, how about you?
That there is an Evangelion kind of thing. Including the little shield. I don't even know what to think anymore.
The plastic AT fields are just genius.
And the ponchos and everything. I'm just like, this is insane. I want to go, but
yeah,
right.
It's absolutely insane. Yay, more anime. I can't wait to see the stepsister sibling thing because I'm really curious because I'm watching my stepmom's daughter is my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all the usual sort of like step sibling kind of like, except they used to date. And it's like, wow, I want to see how this one's going to go where you actually play it like real siblings.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to do anything crazy. Is that a promise or is that just the hook and there'll be a sudden reveal? I don't know. And I'm tired. That's the other thing I learned. I'm very tired. Getting up way before I usually get up just exhausts me and then limits my amount of Genshin and anime. I can't have that. I cannot have that.
Yeah, I can't.
Of course.
Have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Candle at both ends all the time, 100%.
I have learned. What have I learned? I don't really learn. I just experience and then hope to God that I learn from that. I usually don't. I have learned today that it is probably a good thing that the Evangelion water park is opened before a lot of people from outside of Japan come in, because wait until they get a load of me.
Hit it with
There's
a cannon, boys.
Because nobody wants that video, I can assure you. Nobody. I've learned that, much like everybody else, I'm tired. Long week. I got to bank on my sleep too. Not because I have 6 panels like somebody else on this stream does. I don't have any panels. But somebody else on the stream has 6 panels that he has to do. I wonder who that could be.
Well, they ain't me, boss.
Ain't me. But I have learned that this upcoming weekend's going to be a blast. We're going to be at Otakon, and we're going to have a good time. And then on Sunday night, when we're half asleep or delirious from the dopamine effect of Otakon, we're going to be on the show and either being really excited and talking gibberish, or we're going to be really tired and talking gibberish, and we'll show some pictures of Otakon at you.
Yeah. Something generally picture-like.
Yes.
Here's a picture I took of my foot because I was asleep. And here's a picture of the ceiling I took when I fell over and I was asleep. Here's the other picture.
There's the video of me falling down the escalator. Brent, what did you learn?
Oh, just that every guy makes people wet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really all we need to know, I think.
I just love that they have actual
oh my god,
literally angels.
Yeah, I was
with
gonna
water
say
cannons coming out of their eyes.
What in the heck?
Yep. Because why wouldn't you do that?
I mean, it must be fun as all heck on a hot day like today, man. That would have been...
Absolutely.
But it's literally you just stand there and somebody hoses you down. I mean, that's literally just it.
As far as I can tell, and unfortunately, of course, now YouTube doesn't want to load for me. But yeah, it's pretty much just that. Wow. Just you wander. Now, and granted, again, this is kind of a little bit of James. You're right.
God.
Why isn't the water red?
Jeez. Wow.
Will there be a statue of Rey where if you hit it water, she dissolves?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yes.
The giant Rey bath bomb, and it just dissolves into Tang.
Shaved ice, Rey.
Oh.
And then just.
How to turn a fun water park ride into a horror fest. What's going on?
So yes, that is very much a thing. Thank you all very much for joining us again. I will be at Otakon. We will all be at Otakon this weekend. This coming up weekend.
If you all happen to be at Otakon and you see me or one of the other guys, please come up and say hello.
Yes, absolutely. We are fairly friendly people, and we'll be happy to chat. And that is coming up. And again, we will be talking about that next week. And then after that, we're going to start a review of Mobile Suit Gundam, the 8th MS team. That's right. One of the great classic Gundam series. We're going to start on that in 2 weeks. So I hope to see you all for that. Thank you all for being here. As always, this is great. Glad to see some of the old crew in the chat as well. Hope you guys can hop back in future. I know times have changed and so forth, but you will see what you can do. I would definitely want to watch Gundam the A-Team, John. Thank you all. See you all next week.
Nice.
Take care. Have a good one. Bye all.
Johnny. Sayonara.